Welcome to episode 2 of County Extension 101, Lunch and Learn, which is being brought to you by the North Central Extension District. Good afternoon. My name is Susan Kelly. I'm the North Central District Extension Director. This initiative came from the work of our county extension directors and their district innovation teams. This 5-part series is the first effort from our campus county connection team to improve communication, understanding, and collaboration between the entire organization and our counties. I want to give a special thank you to the Campus County Connection team, including Tyrone Fisher, Amy Lucas, Ginger Cunningham, Brian Cave, and Lori Davis, and especially our video guru, Tiffany Hancock. Today, we will visit 4 counties: Alleghany, Ashe, Surry, and Wilkes in the far west side of our district. They've been asked to present some highlights of their work in 12 minutes, just to give a glimpse inside a county extension office. We will have a question and answer time at the end of the 4 presentations, so please post any questions in the chat, and we will address them at that time. Our first presentation is from Alleghany County.
Welcome to Alleghany County, nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're home to Stone Mountain, the New River, and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hi, I'm Amy Lucas. I'm the Extension Director here at the Alleghany Center, as well as the 4-H agent. Agriculture is a multi-million-dollar industry that has a deep impact on the citizens of Alleghany County. They rely on it for their livelihood, and there's a great heritage that comes from farming within this community. With that, there are devastating accidents that can happen from farm equipment and machinery. We saw this with Extension, and we've been working on this for more than 30 years here in the county to try to raise awareness and increase safety practices within the agriculture industry.
So you and Charles Young were instrumental in starting the first Farm Safety Days here in Alleghany. Tell us why you felt like farm safety education was so needed.
Well, we had actually several farm accidents along the way, as any rural county does. One fatal accident, and another one of our farmers got wound up in a PTO shaft and got broke up real bad. But that's kind of where we started with it and went from there.
So where were your first Farm Safety Day events held, and who was your target audience?
We actually had them at the fairgrounds with adults first. And we demonstrated things like getting a dummy wrapped up, filled with straw, wrapped up in a PTO shaft.
So tell us a little bit about the specialist you work with.
The first training I went to was Robert McLemore. He was like our safety specialist there in Raleigh. Each state had to have a designated person, and he was North Carolina's. Then we had Julia Storm with the agri-medicine program. That was a few years later after that. And then we got connected with John Paul Owen, who was from A&T State University, and he had a large grant to do a lot of research, a lot of follow-up, enough money we could provide everyone with a farm safety kit, first aid kits, door prizes, just lots of things. That really gave us a shot in the arm with that. Okay, the AgriAbility program was a program that came along a little later, and it was the opportunity to provide, to retrofit tractors or equipment to where a farmer with a disability could continue farming. The agribility program started with a female farmer who was disabled and couldn't get into her tractor anymore to farm. The agribility program hired engineers to retrofit, to develop a plan to retrofit tractors so she could get in her tractor. And he put an elevator, a little elevator thing on it to where she could get to it with her wheelchair, turn around, sit on it, and it would pick her up and put her in the seat, and she could farm. She could drive her tractor, and did that for several years. Also, farmer with MS provided with equipment, quick hook equipment, to where he could just back up, stay on his tractor and back up to every piece of equipment that he had. And at one point we were using more, they told me we used more of the agribility money in Alleghany County than all the rest of the states of North Carolina together, simply because we were promoting the program and realized the opportunity and took advantage of that opportunity.
What started as a single event at our local fairgrounds for adults has turned into 4 separate events, starting with second graders, working our way through to adults. The first event that we have is our second grade Farm Animal Day. Here, all second graders from the county are invited to attend at our local fairgrounds and learn about farm animals, farm animal safety, farm animal byproducts, as well as veterinary practices and feeds that surround the agriculture industry. This is a great introduction to farms and farm safety and what the impact the agriculture industry has on our youth. Second event that we have is our 4th grade Rural and Community Safety Day. At this day, all 4th graders from across the county are invited to attend to learn about fire safety, household chemical safety, internet safety, gun safety, as well as farm equipment safety and farm animal safety. So we tie back into our 2nd grade day and continue to expound on those principles they've learned.
As kids get older and progress in the high school, we then offer them Farm Safety Day at the high school level. We team up with a lot of local other organizations, such as local fire departments, the Forest Service, Upper Mountain Research Station, and several other of our community friends. During this day, we cover topics such as pesticide safety, ATV safety, chainsaw safety, animal husbandry, and also fire safety. The reason we do this is because we see the need.
It's some of the very basics of equipment and tractor farm safety that's important, because it's the routine that individuals get in that get them in an accident. You know, for example, there's only one seat on this tractor. That means there's only supposed to be one rider. Also, this box blade is not a place for people to ride, or all of the pinch points back here. And it's all of these things that are important. And it's also very important that we're able to translate this to the number of Hispanic employees for the operations that are needing this. This is one of the highest concerns, is making sure that their employees are safe, making sure that they know how to operate the equipment correctly, and so that everyone is able to come home at the end of the day. That is our number one goal with all of the farm safety activities, no matter what age range we're looking at, is it from elementary school, high school, adults, or farm workers. All of those are crucial parts of our Farm Safety Day program.
Anything else from your trainings that really stood out to you?
One was farmers wearing blue jeans. If you get wrapped around and in fact, we learned this after one of our farmers did that. I got caught in a PTO shaft and broke his leg up, had to have pins and everything. And it was blue jeans, won't tear. Wrap. Denim. Yeah. So we encourage farmers to wear just cotton pants, like yeah, like Dickie pants, those things. And another farmer who was not a half mile from where this first farmer was stepped over his PTO shaft, and he had Dickies on, or whatever, those just cotton pants. And he said all of a sudden he was standing there in his underwear. And had he not had those, if he'd had denim on, he would have been in the same shape the other farmer was, his next door neighbor. And you'd think after the next door neighbor got caught that way, he wouldn't even be stepping over
You wouldn't be stepping over a PTO.
a PTO shaft, but
People do it.
people do it every day.
Alleghany is a very rural community, and that's why we see the need for these farm safety days. So being able to go over to things such as gun safety to all kids, we feel is very important, and we hope to continue doing this for many years.
So who do you think was most impacted by these programs, youth or adults?
I think it was more impactful with the youth. The adults have been doing it all these years. In fact, we had a lot of kids, farmers would say their kids come home and tell them about things they were doing wrong. And so one of them, in fact, told me, said something about the stuff you're telling these kids up here, that all I hear is at home, I'm doing everything wrong. So, so I think that, and if those kids ding dong on the parents enough, maybe they'll change too.
In conclusion, farm safety is important to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're an elementary school kid, high school student, college, or in the workforce as a farm worker, or just driving down the road. All of us can be impacted by farm safety. One of the biggest things that's important to remember is our reaction time with farm safety is not what we think it is. In a matter of seconds, we can be wrapped around a PTO shaft multiple times. We could turn into oncoming traffic, or you could fail to hit your brakes correctly. All of those are things that are reminders that are important in our Farm Safety Day program, making sure that our farm workers, youth, and adults all understand the importance and the basics of farm safety, and making sure that everyone is able to come home at the end of the day.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about farm safety, a unique programming effort here in Alleghany County.
It was 2019 when I was approached by a commissioner to give the commercial kitchen one last go. It's located in an old high school, which is now referred to in our community as Family Central.
The commercial kitchen was a tremendous resource for our community. It was just sitting there unused, and having been involved with farmers markets in the area for a number of years, I knew that the need was there for our local producers. The fact that Cooperative Extension is already plugged in and actively involved with local agriculture and value-added producers, that made them the logical choice to quarterback the commercial kitchen project. The goal of the kitchen, from the viewpoint of the county commissioners, is not a profit or a revenue generating source, but rather hopefully a spot that we can break even and use it as an economic development tool to provide a unique space for local value-added producers, catering companies, and the like.
It had been open and running 3 times previously, but never as a county government initiated project. We were asked to be involved because of our flagship local foods and our work with community development. So along with the county manager's office and economic development, we were asked to develop a plan that we could present to the commissioners. We enlisted the help of a local restaurateur, Sherman Lyle. Sherman had over 40 years of experience in the food service industry, and his technical assistance was valuable to the reopening of the kitchen.
The commercial kitchen was one of those ideas whose time had come here in Ashe County. It was sort of interesting, the number of inquiries I had at my restaurant for people who wanted to do home canning. Someone needed a wedding venue, but they needed to cater for 125 people. And there wasn't really anything around like that. I even had someone who wanted to rent the kitchen restaurant overnight to be able to do catering, food production, sauce making, and all that, and insurance and liability opportunity. But commercial kitchen came along, and we saw it as an answer to a number of businesses' needs. The canner, the home canner, the farmer who's growing peppers and wants to make hot sauce, large catering venues, like the first party we did was for 500 people out of that kitchen. So there was a need there that really wasn't realized in the past, but the year we opened in 2019, it seemed to come to fruition. And all kind of the sun, moon, the stars lined up to have this kitchen open that year. The way we went about this to get the appropriate information to the commissioners of the county was, I went about it just like I was going to open a restaurant. I've opened 40 restaurants in the past, so that would really be my 41st, not counting this one. But what I did, I went in and wanted to do a feasibility study of the equipment, the heating and air conditioning system, the water systems, contacted the health department to make sure we had all of our ducks in a row. So when we presented this to the commissioners, we had all the potential answers. They have like inspections, equipment needs, costs, monthly costs, annual costs, repairs and maintenance costs, all the things that could impact the kitchen in a positive and negative way. I went about doing that so I could give them a true picture of what it would cost the county to open it and maintain it over the years.
So what makes it different this time? Part of it is just timing. Ashe County's in a different place now. Tourism has been increasing year over year for the past decade, and now is our second largest economic sector. With that, wedding venues and event venues have grown in number and size. So we have a lot of caterers providing for these events all the time. Food service became our step one focus. We wanted to make sure that we had a place that caterers could come for large events. So we had to get health department inspected. That was priority number one. We knew from studying the previous times that had been open, we needed a manager, a dedicated manager for this kitchen. And it needed to be a good one, and it needed to be one that was managed by the entity that was primarily focused on managing the kitchen, which is Cooperative Extension. So we started thinking, what does this look like? We knew when we started a kitchen, it didn't need to be full-time. Part-time was much more reasonable. So talking with Susan Kelly, the District Extension Director for the North Central District, she mentioned that Alleghany was looking at a local foods coordinator part-time, help manage their farmers market. Seemed like a really good fit. So we started working together as two counties. Susan got extension administration support from campus, and we were able to fund this position to get Jill Cochran hired as our local foods coordinator in Ashe County, the commercial kitchen manager.
As manager of the High Country Commercial Kitchen, I oversee day-to-day operations in the kitchen. I schedule people that are using the kitchen and help with the onboarding process and tours for new users. I also work very closely with the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and the Health Department in onboarding new users and working within the regulatory guidelines that users have to adhere to establish a food business in North Carolina. I'm also a part of the North Carolina Network of Incubator Kitchens. It's a group of commercial kitchen managers, and we get together once a month by Zoom, share stories, talk about particular issues that we're having with kitchens, or share information about like equipment, and it's just a really good network to be involved with and collaborate with.
So in October of 2019, we had our official ribbon cutting scheduled with the Chamber of Commerce. We also had an open house for the general public to come tour the kitchen. We created a marketing video for us to use regionally to let people know about the kitchen. And I'd love for you to watch that right now.
I think that the commercial kitchen will positively impact Ashe County businesses by having an opportunity for caterers, for entrepreneurs, for the growing wedding venue business to expand their offerings.
We want this to be an economic opportunity for the people of Ashe County. Hopefully, it's a stepping stone for someone to start that food-based business and maybe roll that into a restaurant or something bigger. But it's all about opportunities and providing that for the citizens of Ashe County.
It makes more people have availability to do catering jobs and so forth.
Someone who might be exploring opening up a food-based business, whether that's a food truck the next greatest chocolate or cookie.
We're also entrepreneur friendly, so it gives them lots of chances to grow or even begin a business.
All they need to bring is a recipe or an idea and start in a really a low risk environment where we've got the equipment. They don't have to make the huge investments.
And it also will serve as a regional plus for neighboring counties and even further away to come and use the facilities and expand their offerings as well.
If you're interested in using the High Country Commercial Kitchen, the first thing you should do is call our office at 336-846-5850. We'll walk you through the kitchen to see if it meets your needs. If you decide that this is a fit for your business, you will want to fill out our application process and look at our fee schedule online. Then get a permit with the health department. Make sure we have a copy of your general liability policy, copy of your ServSafe certificate for some member on your staff. After that, we'll get you a security key card and you can start using the High Country Commercial Kitchen.
During COVID, the kitchen was very quiet and is now starting to get really busy. For the past 3 weeks now, we have been at full capacity during the day and have managed to onboard new clients almost on a weekly basis at this point. I'm still giving some tours this week and helping new users with scaling up their production. We feature Alicia Niels in one of the segments, and she was able to use the kitchen, just started a few weeks ago, and she has sold out at the Alleghany Farmers Market for 2 weeks in a row and has had to double her production. So using the kitchen has really enabled her to make more money and also opens up new market channels for her.
So High Country Food Hub is one of the ones that I'm going to be able to reach out to now because I'm making my pies here in this certified kitchen, which is, it's opened many doors for me. All of the venues in North Carolina now I'm able to sell at markets because I make my pies here. I wasn't able to make them at home, and this has opened a whole new door for me. And a venture that has become quite profitable and increased my sales tremendously because of my product being a higher quality, because I have higher quality equipment to make my products in and refrigerators to refrigerate them. So it's been a very exciting and fun experience.
Welcome to beautiful Surry County, here in the northwestern part of North Carolina. It's a beautiful spring day. We're glad you're with us today. We're out at the Ola Hendren Research Farm, and we've got lots of things going on that we'd like to share with you. So please take a moment and come walk. We'll see what's going on. So, hey, folks, check out these little guys. They're literally busy as bees, doing a lot of work, things that help us as humans. Did you know that bees produce 6 different items in a hive? All of those things that we use on a daily basis. Most of us know about honey. That's the principal thing that they produce, and it's the most expensive thing that they produce. But beeswax is also very important, and it's in things such as artist materials and polishes for leather or wood, even in medicine that we take as a carrier for medicine. But you know, all of that's important, but the most important thing that these little bees do is produce food for us. When they produce honey, it sells for around $300 million a year in income. But these bees take care of pollinating the plants that feed us every day. And so the value of their work is over $15 billion a year in agricultural income. That equates to 1 bite out of every 3 bites that we have to eat on our plate is produced by bees. We can't have food without them,
but they're under attack from lots of different things, from depredation to disease, to lack of beekeepers, to environmental pressures. Today, here at the Alleghany farm, we have some research going on and some work that we're working trying to get younger folks involved with beekeeping. So today I'm joined by Joanna Radford, our horticulture agent, and Bailey McGill, our 4-H agent. And they're going to share what's going on here. So ladies, take it away.
Extension, local farmers, and local Surry County beekeepers have been working for years to figure out how to protect our #1 pollinator, at least here in Surry County, the honeybee. One of the projects that we've begun working on last year with the help of the North Carolina Pesticide Environmental Trust Fund is a project looking at bee enclosures. And the bee enclosures we would look at is trying to protect these bees during the time of pesticide application. We're looking this year begins the actual project. We've had these bees for just about a little over a year now. And the project will begin in about a month, putting enclosures over the beehives. We're comparing that to what has traditionally been done to protect the bees during a pesticide application, which is actually removing the hives from the field or taking mesh or wet burlap and putting it into the entrance of the beehive. That causes the bees to be enclosed in this beehive itself. There's not a lot of room, and a lot of times it overstresses the bees, and a lot of them die. So this project is going to look at putting enclosure over the top of the hives that we can move on and off before and after the pesticide application has been completed. The test will end in August, 1st of September. What we hope to gain from the information learned is how to keep these bees safe from pesticide exposures from the applications that is done in nearby farms. As we know, these creatures do have a little problem with enclosed tight spaces. They like their space. And with the enclosures, hopefully we can recommend that those would be effective measures in keeping these bees safe. At a recent field day, local beekeepers taught the general public and other more amateur beekeepers on the health of the hive. So let's take a look inside the hive to see what they were seeing this weekend. The field day allows for us to get inside the hive and to learn about what is happening inside the hive. We can see by the super that has been added here, these ladies have been hard at work, and we have got some capped honey and then some honey that is almost ready to be capped as well. Those that attend the field day also get to know how to go through a hive and determine what they're looking at. And they always know that when they remove a frame from a hive, it needs to go back into the same place. Because if not, it would be just like someone coming into our homes, rearranging our rooms in our house, and we'd be a little bit confused when we enter back in. So this is a few of the things that they are looking at. Nice. They'll also learn that all the honey will not be taken from the hive. They'll have to leave some honey in the throughout the winter so that bees can have food to survive. Important tips for a new beekeeper to learn. One emerging issue that we've discussed for years now is the lack of young beekeepers. So in order to entice young folks into beekeeping, we have come up with, the Surry County Beekeepers and Extension have come up with a program called the Junior Beekeeper Certification Program. And youth age 5 to 16 can get involved with beekeeping. They come to a 6-week course, and it's pretty intensive. We learn all types of information from the anatomy of a bee to the importance of bee and how to keep bees alive and how to be a good beekeeper. At the end of the course, if they have attended all of the sessions over that 6-week period and pass a final exam with a practicum, then they are given the status of a junior beekeeper through the Surry County Beekeeping Association along with Extension. Some of the things that we do, of course, is hands-on activities. What better way to learn? And what a fun way to learn. Some of the things that we teach is a bee's life. And they get to make a diagram of the cells, what the eggs look like, the larvae, the pupa, and then the adults. Fun way to learn. Not only that, they also, during the practicum, one of the exercises is they have to keep a smoker lit and be able to use it and define what a smoker is. So these are just a few of the things that we teach them during that program, along with a beekeeper as well. And what more exciting way to learn is having a true, real beekeeper in there with you. And at the very end, we have another huge field day where we actually get inside the hives.
So in 4-H, we like to do learning hands-on, and this is the perfect classroom for us. So one thing that Joanna mentioned was the Junior Beekeepers Association, but this summer we will also be working on a pollination program for one of our summer fun programs. So part of that is going to be teaching kids about bees and about other pollinators as well and their importance, because we know that they're important, but as far as raising awareness, it's really good to start with the youth as well. We do have curriculum here at the local level and also from NC State that we utilize to teach youth. So that way we're making sure that they're getting reliable information. One fact that the kids really seem to enjoy is about strawberries. So for each of the seeds on a strawberry, a pollinator had to come to that each time for all of those seeds. So that really seems to amaze them. That's one thing that they really love to learn about. And so we use a lot of visuals as well. So this is one that you can really see all of the details. One that we really like to talk to kids about too is the pollen baskets that the honeybees use to carry pollen back from their foraging back to the hive. So that's one that they seem to enjoy as well. We also like to use a lot of activities to make things fun for them. And we have a lot of examples here that we've used in the past. So showing them real examples definitely helps them to understand what's going on, especially bees are so small. So getting to see that on a little bit of a larger scale. Anytime that there's food involved, we love that too. So this is one of our pollination activities. So actually teaching kids what it looks like to pollinate. So they actually get to open up this bag and reach in there, have a snack, and then they will wipe the Cheeto dust on a flower to see actually how that works. So again, a lot of hands-on learning for 4-H, and we're really excited to get to use this bee yard to get to show kids all about pollinators.
So we hope you've enjoyed your visit to Surry today. We hope you've learned a little bit about things we do in the county. You know, we all work for cooperative extension, whether it's at NC State or at NCA&T or out in the counties. Our goal is the same for all of us, taking research information from the universities, sharing it with the citizens of the state. And in many ways, we do the things that we do. So hopefully you've learned a bit today about something we're doing with bees, and we look forward to visiting with you next time. Thanks.
Good day. I'm with the Wilkes County Master Gardener Program and have been for the last 10 years plus, working with the County Extension Office. It's been very pleasant for me. I've enjoyed it. And it's just been a very good situation. And I've had a lot of fun and I support them with everything I can help them with. But we're here in Wilkes County, and it's just a great place to be.
Today, I'm going to share a little bit of history of Wilkes County with you. Wilkes County is located in the Western Mountain region of North Carolina on the eastern slope of the Blue Ridge Mountains and is part of the Appalachian Mountain chain. The town of Wilkesboro is the county seat, and Wilkes' largest town is North Wilkesboro. The county was formed on April 20th, 1778 by the North Carolina General Assembly from parts of Surry County, North Carolina, and Washington District, which was part of Washington County, Tennessee at that time and was named after John Wilkes. Wilkes County was once known as the moonshine capital of the world and was the leading producer of illegal homemade liquor. Natives to Wilkes County also used bootleg liquor as a means of barter far beyond the borders of North Carolina. Many distillers ran white liquor as far as Detroit, New Jersey, and South Florida. And since they often were involved in outrunning the local police and federal agents in auto chases, the county became one of the birthplaces of the sport of stock car racing. Wilkes is home to the annual Brushy Mountain Apple Festival and Morfest. The Brushy Mountain Apple Festival is a one-day arts and crafts fair held annually in downtown North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. The fair is held on the first Saturday in October. Over 160,000 people visit the fair each year, and it is one of the largest single-day arts and crafts fair in the southeastern United States. The fair is held to celebrate the apple harvest from the nearby Brushy Mountains. Over 100 church, civic, and other nonprofit organizations from Wilkes County and neighboring counties participate in the fair each year. Morfest is the annual musical festival held in Wilkesboro, North Carolina on the campus of Wilkes Community College. The festival, which is held the last week in April, was hosted by Grammy Award winner Doc Watson prior to his death and is named in memory and honor of his son, Eddie Merle Watson, who died in a farm tractor accident in 1985. Some notable people associated with Wilkes County are Daniel Boone, Tom Douglas, Zach Galifianakis, Junior Johnson, and Benny Parsons. On May 1st, 1868, a Confederate veteran named Tom Douglas was hanged for the 1866 stabbing death of Laura Foster. Douglas had been Foster's lover and father of her unborn child. Some question whether Douglas was the actual killer. In addition to his affair with Foster, Douglas had romantic engagements with two of Foster's cousins, Ann Foster Melton and Pauline Foster. On the gallows, Douglas professed his innocence while conceding he still deserved to be executed. Thus, some came to believe that Melton had killed Laura Foster. National newspapers covered Douglas' trial, and former North Carolina Governor Zebulon Vance represented Douglas pro bono. Due to all the attention, a North Carolina poet named Thomas C. Land wrote a poem about the case called Tom Fooling. In 1921, L.S. Lowe founds Lowe's North Wilkesboro Hardware. In addition to the hardware and building materials, the store sold sewing notion, dry goods, horse tack, snuff produce, and groceries. L.S. Lowe's son, Jim Lowe, takes over the hardware store in 1940 after his father's passing and offered his brother-in-law, Carl Buchan, part ownership in the company. In 1946, Carl Buchan, joint owner, refocuses the company solely on the home improvement products. Lowe's opens its second store in Sparta, North Carolina. In 1979, Lowe's is listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and 1981 is listed on the London Stock Exchange. In 1958, Holly Farms was originally founded in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Holly Farms established a solid reputation for fresh tray-packed chicken over the years. In 1989, Tyson Foods bought the company and its operations, and by the late 1990s, Holly Farms was phased out as a national brand. Thanks for taking a quick trip through Wilkes County history with us.
Wilkes is home to a diverse group of horticultural industries. We have vegetable producers, small fruit growers, hemp producers, and nursery crop producers. We have 7 commercial vineyards and wineries, many of whom belong to the Yadkin Valley and or Swanquay AVA. But we're perhaps best known for our tree fruit production, most of which is concentrated in the Brushy Mountain region. Wilkes ranks 2nd statewide in apple production, and local orchardists also produce an array of peaches, nectarines, and Asian pears.
I'm a 5th generation apple grower here in the Brushy Mountains. But we also grow peaches. That's where we're at today in the peach orchard. And we sell all of our fruit here locally at our fruit stand. We've been in business for 5 generations, so we have a good customer base. And this Brushy Mountain is a good area for apple growing. It's because of the thermal belt. A lot of years we'll have a spring freeze, and because of the thermal belt, we get into an area elevation here where it's colder at the bottom, colder at the top, but it's warmer at the elevation that we are. So, you know, year after year, we end up having a crop when a lot of areas are killed at. When I first started in the orchard business, we had the Brush Mountain Co-op, and it was owned by 17 growers. And at that time, most everybody grew apples for the co-op, and very few had their own retail. As years progressed, different varieties come out, and we mainly grew Red Delicious at that time. So as years passed, we got into different varieties. People had their own retails, and the co-op had to close. And so pretty much everybody now is, you know, has their own retail. We also have the Brush Mountain Apple Festival every year. It's the first Saturday in October. And 2 years ago, we started Brush Mountain Peach Festival, and it's in July, about the third week in July. And both of these allow us an opportunity to sell our fruit, and it's a big benefit for the growers. The Extension Service is a big help to the growers. We work through the local extension agent. She gets in touch with the specialists in Raleigh. If you have a problem with disease or bacterial insects or anything like that. And also we have the Winter Fruit School, which is a big benefit for the apple growers.
I work on the Visit NC Farms app. The app is a marketing tool to help our local farmers expand their online presence. By using the Visit NC Farms app, farmers are able to connect to consumers and visitors within the community. It allows for access to events as well. And so we are able to showcase things like our peach and apple festivals. This year, we have about 20 assets on the Visit NC Farms app, and we hope to continue to add more with every season. We actually are here at Perry Low Orchards, and they were the #2 asset on the app in the fall of 2020.
I'm a 5th-generation apple grower in Wilkes and Alexander County. Our farm is an integrated farm. In other words, we sell all our fruit to consumers directly. We have pick your own, we have cider, and fresh roadside stand. We grow many varieties here at Perry Low Orchards. Pink Lady is one of our #1 sellers, also Honey Crisp, and about 20 different other varieties. In the early 40s and 50s, our family worked along NC State and given them one of the first research stations in North Carolina. And we deeded the land to them, and the researcher, who was named Van Diemen, researched ethylene production in apples to help increase the storage life. And when he got done with his research, NC State deeded the land and the house back to us. In 1992, I was not long out of college. Mike Parker did a research block in 4 different areas of North Carolina, and fortunately, we were one of them. This was a high density block of like 4 varieties and on mark rootstock, and it changed the way we grew apples. Right now, we have about 60 acres in high density with just about 10 to 15 acres of the old planting.
In 2020, I received an Extension Innovation Grant to purchase 2 weather stations that are installed in local orchards. These weather stations are placed at 1,500 feet elevation and 2,300 feet elevation to reflect the relative elevations that most of our orchards are located at. These weather stations are connected with the Network for Environmental Weather Applications, or NEWA, out of Cornell University. The NEWA site has embedded pest management and crop load management models that can be paired with local weather data and field observations to help growers make crop management decisions.
We use our weather station for 3 different aspects in farming, apple farming, and that is insect management, disease management, and crop load management. And this year we have a great example how it's supposed to work with Extension. This year, the weather station was telling us that we were going to have a fire blight incident. It did not seem right to me, and so I looked at it and I called the extension agent, Ellie. She got in touch with Sarah Villani, which is our research specialist on diseases, and yes, lo and behold, it was wrong. So by doing that, that saved us over $1,800 this year.
Hello, my name is John Cothran. I am the Director, Livestock and Crops Agent from Wilkes County. We thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. If we can ever be of any assistance or we can help, love to visit. We'd love to have you. Thank you.
Would like to give a quick thank you to our video editors for this production. Thank you to Jessica Ham, Jamie Davis, Michelle Ham, Nicole Vernon, Courtney Tivipa, and Ellie Snyder. Well done.
And please note our next episode will come in September featuring Orange Person, Granville, and Vance County. And now we have time for some questions. Are there questions in the chat? I see a lot of great jobs. We have all those folks here from the counties here and available to answer any questions you might have. Well, if not, thank you so much for stopping by the western end of the North Central District. We're happy to have you with us and hope that you will join us again in September.